Okay, so this random old photo isn't actually that random. It's a photo of my great-grandparents in the 1800s. So my maternal side of my family has genealogy rooted in France, and so it should come as no surprise that Paris is my absolute favorite place in the entire world, and I'm here to tell you about my adventure with the city. So it first began with wanting to get connected to my past, so I started to enroll in French classes when I was in middle school, took it in high school, and even took it for a year here at Syracuse, although I don't recommend it. The French department here, they suck. Sorry to anyone who's French classes here. And so it became better and better at the language. My desire to grow increased. This is me, such an awkward photo when I was like 12, and I had the opportunity to go to Paris for the first time, and it was amazing. And I'm convinced that all these photos of me during this trip are so awkward because I was just so in awe of the city, and I didn't really know how to consume it all. There was just so much to take in. And this is me at a famous monument, and this is me at the same place almost 8 years later during my junior year of college, where I had the opportunity to study abroad in Paris and lived there for 4.5 months, and it was absolutely amazing. And because of my incredible experience with the city, I've compiled a list of my top 5 reasons why I love Paris so much. Okay, so the first is the sights. People think of Paris as the city of lights, city of love. It has all this history, but it's actually a pretty modern capital as well, and it's this amazing fusion of the old and the new is why I love it so much. On the left is the famous Arc de Triomphe. It's from 1806. On the right is actually a similar monument that was from 1990, so you can see that it's all there. Second is the fashion. I mean, if you've seen Devil Wears Prada, you know Paris is everything, and you know major fashion houses like Chanel and YSL and Louis Vuitton and whatever are all born here, but I personally loved just walking around the streets and looking at the Parisians and taking inspiration from their fashion because they know how to dress. The third is the art. I also study art history here, so I'm a little biased, but the art is amazing. Paris has over 150 museums, and aside from that, they actually have really great amateur art culture as well, like dancers and street performers and graffiti, all this amazing stuff, which is very, very interesting. Next is food. You can't think about Paris and not think about the food. I mean, I'm thinking about it already, getting hungry. Food is an integral part of French culture, and what's great about Paris is that you can have a crepe at a crepe stand or go to a 5-star restaurant and they could taste just as equivalent to one another. You know, France is wine, bread, and butter, and if you love those things, then you come to the right city. And lastly is the people. This always takes people by surprise, as French people are pretty stereotypically grumpy and rude, but having lived there for 4.5 months and actually being able to meet the people and be invested in the culture, I learned differently and even have some friends back in Paris of my own that I met when I was abroad. So if you hadn't had a chance to visit Paris, I highly recommend it, and that's my review. Thanks.